All right. Everybody needs somebody, and there's somebody for everybody. So if you ever need somebody to lean on, just give me a buzz. Lean on me, yeah. When you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long that I'm gonna need somebody.
So the worst mistake I did is that I let a false gold into my life, and that was devastating. It was devastating to my mental health, to my business, to everything, because that false gold, they can destroy your companies. It's people don't understand, like, it's serious thing.
In your life.
Is there
Yeah, to get
one bad?
I call them sharks nowadays. That's my expression.
What do you call
I
them?
say sharks, like shark, from the movie Shark. Because what they do is that they grab your hand, right? And when you remove your hand, you're missing like 4 fingers, but you don't notice until they have taken your whole like arm or something. Then you wake up, but then it's too late. You can't do anything about it.
Right.
So that's the biggest mistake that I did, was to let.
So a way to help avoid that would be to check credentials, because people come and they put on one face, and a lot of times another face shows up. There's a lot of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, depending on what emotional roller coaster they're on. So it really depends. I think what you're saying is good. If you're consistently building the right culture, you will be also attracting the right people, because life has an algorithm, just like the internet, and so again, you still get those folks that slide by, but I think if you have the right culture around, those kind of people can be detected a little quicker. Yeah. Right. So
I will be honest about this is a true fact. I have recruited maybe 100 people in my life, directly or indirectly. Indirectly mean I have just been assisting, or I have given thought about somebody. I never in my life looked at their grades or what school they went to. Never. The only thing I look at is who they are, like what do they stand for, like what is their passion. That's my main point. That is their passion. They don't need to be the most experienced, like engineer or designer. I want the most passionate one, because it's the passionate one that will create awesomeness. And I expect from myself awesomeness. I expect everybody that works with me awesomeness without burning out. That's very important for me, without burning out, because it's not fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So the only way to do that is that you must hire by your values that you have in the company. That is your Bible, and that was many companies don't understand. Like, the power of having really strong values is you can use them actually to select out the diamonds into your company, and you can remove the false gold and the things that you don't want by that. And like I can have any person working with me, like for me, like disabilities. I have a lot of disability. I have like dysgraphia. You can name it, and I have it. It doesn't say anything about it. That should not even be a question, according to me, in a work interview, because we are humans. We have that.
Yeah.
So I could hire anybody, but I would never in my life hire a skilled a-hole. I don't want to say the word. A skilled jerk. That's the word thing I know. That's, for me, that's a no in my world. Like, they don't enter. I don't care if you're the smartest, most intelligent person in the world. You don't work with me. Right. If you can't treat people good. That's so simple.
That's the most important thing. They said there's this slogan or this phrase that says, one monkey doesn't stop a show. One monkey can't stop a show. But that's not true, because if the monkey takes the bus steering wheel and takes the bus off the road, now you're off the cliff. There's the monkey, there's the show, off the cliff. So you got to be very careful of the people that you allow into your circle and close to you. You got to stay awake. I think you just got to stay awake, because, people, they are who they are. But as long as you are awake and aware, I think, you can help guide the bus and keep it on the road.
And when you build And if I'm going to use this as an example, you know, we've had some sharks. We've had those bite our arms off, right? Either slow us down or
Fingers.
just, you know, little bumps in the roads, right? Yeah, little fingers. And but it allowed me to find someone like Rob, right? And then Rob, to us together, start finding sharks together, you know, and start weeding those out. And now we have a team that we trust, that we can trust in each other. So even when a shark does try to come in, and it's a red flag for one person, we as a team know that we trust each other enough to look at their concern. You know what I mean? Because we don't want it to enter what we've already created.
Yep.
So the more people you have in that circle of trust, allows that penetration to be impossible.
You know, when
Good
I
man.
started to gain like momentum, or you can say like credit on the market, right? Or in the field as an expert, I got this thing, you know, that I wanted to confront the sharks, you know, like I don't care like which position you have in a company. If you step on the values that we have agreed on, right? These is the values we have agreed on. And you step on these values, I will let you know. You know, it's like I will not like rush you or anything, but I will have a talk with you and tell you that this is not okay. We didn't agree on this, and the reason I do that is very simple: is that as I see it, it's not that, oh, you're privileged to work with me when I hire somebody. It's the opposite. Somebody is willing to give me like time of their life. Like you can buy a lot of things. Some people say you can buy love, right? But you can't buy time, and real love you can't buy either. But time is not like viable. Even if you pay people, you can't take that time back. Like, oh, you mistreated me, give me back that time. You can't, you know. So I see this as an opposite thing. I see that I'm so lucky that all these skilled people, they want to work with me, you know. So it's my obligation. It's my obligation as a leader, or like a co-worker or whatever, to make this safe environment for them, you know, this empowering environment where they will grow and they know that Eduardo has our back, you know. Anything happens, Eduardo will be there and I will be there for real. And like it doesn't matter what time or date or hour, because it's our obligation as leaders, you know, to create that environment for them. So what I do with sharks now is that I use the matrix method. I do like this, you know. So I will just let them pass by.
Right, that's it. Even over your head.
Because I
Like,
realized
whoa.
you have nothing to gain in having interaction with the sharks. It
That's right.
doesn't matter. You can confront them. They will still not realize. It doesn't matter if you show them the fact in the face. They will not understand that they are wrong. If they are true sharks, they will not. So I just
You're absolutely 100% right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had experiences that like not too long ago. So, and to this day, they still anyway. What's another discussion?
It's interesting though. You know, I love sharks. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Love them.
We need them.
Yeah, I need them because they wake you up a little bit, kind of like 2020 did to everybody.
Keep you sharp.
It's kind of woke you up, like whoa. Sometimes it's the adversity, Eduardo. It's the adversity that wakes you up. Like,
business is hard. This is the fact. Business is hard. Like it's not like this thing that everything is just,
right.
You know, like it's not like the Care Bears. Like it didn't ever.
right.
So you need sharks also sometimes, but you need them on your side. But make sure they don't bite anybody besides you. You need to have them on the leash. You know? Like go and bite over there.
Yeah.
Don't bite him or her. Like bite there. You know.
Come on,
Then
we're gonna
there's
everybody
everybody has a place in a company, you know, and if you need to have somebody that is more like just make sure that like inside here there's a safe haven, you know.
Yeah.
Because people, you don't need to bite people to for them to understand the seriousness of what we're doing, right? What I use is that I use like empowering leadership. So when people misbehave, I do it, but I do it in a positive way, you know, that I tell them that, hey, you know, this product is very important for our users. Like we can't be joking around, you know, and if you for some reason didn't do what you needed to do, and I know that you could do it, like I need to know why, you know, like are you really happy here, or maybe you don't want to be here, or is there a problem I could solve for you? You know?
That's good.
Usually there's a reason when people don't do as you expect in a negative way. There's always a reason. So my thing is talk to people.
Open your mouth. Communication does
Yeah,
amazing.
communication. That's the key.
What would you say your number one skill is? What would you say like your number one skill, if you could identify what that one is? What would you say?
I think it's unite people.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
For that.
And make people believe also that. But usually I talk about things that usually people, they see it. You know how I feel in most cases? I feel like the story with the king that is naked and that little child said, oh, he's naked. And when I say like people first process, second technology, third, most people are thinking it, but nobody's saying it, you know, because they are so stuck on the process or in the technology stuff that they don't lift the eyes up above, but they see it from the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm usually the guy that takes up the corner side and I put it in the middle and I say, hey, come on, we need to do something. We need to improve. We need to. And it's hard to debate when everybody's actually agreeing, but they're just not saying it, right? So I'm not saying that I have right in everything I do or I say, but I'm very good at lifting up that things that are needed to be done. And I'm good in making it into something, either if it's a project or we just write an article, but I make things happen. That's my like top skill is making things happen, I think.
That's true. I agree, man. That's
true.
Right there. That's
That's
good.
exactly how we linked up. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
You've connected with some great people too.
Hey, well, you got a couple groups right now. Well, what are the name some of the groups that you currently? You got a couple projects. I know you have your podcast coming up, but name some of the groups that you've established and that are currently, you know.
Okay, actually, I only have one thing as I see it. I'm on a mission to humanize leadership and the workplace. That's what I'm doing, but I'm doing it from different angles. One is that I'm writing 2 books. It was actually one, but it became 2 because I started to write so much about how I view companies that it became its own book. So I started with Way of the Passionate, and that's my journey through life, like surviving races to burnout to everything, and how I became, how I healed and became a positive person to life, despite of all these things bad that happened to me. So that's the thing of Way of the Passionate. And I talk a lot about the science behind, like why are people so negative and how can we change that into positivity and how can we change the mindset, stuff like that, well-being, mindfulness, all of that. And then the second book is called The Digital Culture, and that is how to build amazing companies putting people first within the digital sector. So that's the thing I was talking about before, like empowering leadership, like how do you build company culture. So by this work, I started actually 2 groups, and one was the Leader Support Group, that is a network to aid and create awareness regarding well-being at work. So we're like now in the group, we have like 10 or something people from all the world, like really, really good experts within everything from organization psychology to therapists to people in general that understand what is happening and what we need to do, you know. So we have an ambition now to do some writings together and to do an event. That is what we're doing there. And then Los Digitales is our empowering Hispanic leader group, you can say, that is for and by leaders because we didn't find a good empowering network on LinkedIn for Hispanics. So we decided to start one, and we announced our first event like 1 week ago, and we have already like 450 registered potential attendees. So that's quite fun, right?
In that purple world, right?
Yeah, in Purple World with ITZY, that's amazing. We really love the work that ITZY and Purple Virtual are doing. We're big supporters. And yeah, like it's a leader network for leaders, and what we do is that we practice empowering leadership. It means that we, the founders, you could say, the people that started the group, we will not even speak at the first event because we're there to for the network, so others will speak, and that's quite cool. Juan came up with that idea, and I love that because, and now this is the thing that when you start networks or whatever you start, when you recruit people, that is what I did. I recruited people by the values that I wanted to have. This came by itself. So Juan, I didn't even have to mention, Juan came up with this idea, and he has taken the event all the way. I haven't done anything. I just supported him. I done some design work for the project, but he's taking it all the way, because he has the flag, and that's what a leader network should be about, people that can achieve.
Exactly, man. That's amazing. Eduardo, man, final words of empowerment, man. What's your final words of empowerment for the people?
It's still the same, like I would say, like, stop thinking like roles, stop thinking like for me, it's like there's only one humanity and there's only one human race. Like, we're all in this together. That is how I believe that. It's not like this kind of people maybe think, oh, this is some new age stuff. No, it's not. That I'm just saying the fact, that if people are going to work for a company like all their life, it's so much time of your life. So if not everybody can come along to the term that let's make this an amazing journey for everybody,
Right.
like, what are we doing? That is how I see it. For me, it's so logical. Like, I can't even debate it.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's wonderful.
That's the way it ended.
What's the best place for folks to catch up with you? Like, where are you hanging out the most? Where would you like for people to contact you, find you, man?
Now I have widened my horizon. So now I'm on YouTube. No, but I have opened more like information channels, not communication channels. I only have one. That is LinkedIn. That's my main one. I will always have that one.
Yeah.
I have
So if they go to LinkedIn, you can guide them to all the different channels and all the different networks and everything you have internally. So the one thing that you can do is that you get a response from you on LinkedIn, right?
Usually that's the easiest, but sometimes the problem I have now that every time I have done like an event, now I was in 2 events, that was last week. So I get like a huge amount of people like sending messages. So I don't have time to follow up. And I think that one should do it, but I also have 2 children, 3 and 5. I have a partner that demands some time. I have a full-time work, and I have my studio to play with. So I try to do my best, but what I'm going to implement now is that I'm implementing this kind of routine where I have these fixed hours per week where I only like connect and respond to people.
Man, that's awesome.
Send us that information.
That it works.
Send us that information so we can make sure to put it out there. If you have some set hours and they're available, so we'll definitely.
Yeah, like what I want to say is that if people message me, if I don't answer in a week, it's not about disrespect. It's not about nothing like that. I truly value that people contact me, and I want to answer immediately. But sometimes I have too much, so it's a little hard to answer directly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. We appreciate you being on the Business Empowerment Podcast, being our first
one
official. Yes, this is like Genesis.
Thank you.
According to the Bible, this would be like Adam and Eve kind of thing. It's the first. First to seed the ground.
And thank you. Hey, you know what? Eduardo, I've been talking about this, guys. Like, come on, let's get it done. So thank you for putting the fire. I had the sticks, you had the light. So
can I have one final goodbye?
Absolutely.
Okay, I have only one wish. If I had one wish in the world, that would be that we need to humanize the workplace and we need to remove stigma. Because regarding either if people have ADHD, bipolar, Asperger, or whatever they're like suffering with, in life in general, we're just humans. There are no supermen, there are no superwomen, there are only humans. So if leaders can't be human, how will the project manager in the brink of burnout ask for help if the role model is a superman or superwoman? So we need to humanize. That's what I'm saying.
I love that. And if our listeners understand it and you say, I want to do that, but yeah, you're trying to figure out how I can do that, Eduardo's the man you need to contact. So we're going to leave that information for you. That way you know. But man, it's been an amazing first episode.
Yeah, man.
It's always an honor and grateful to have you on, man.
Everybody needs somebody, and there's somebody for everybody. So if you ever need somebody to lean on, just give me a buzz. Lean on me, yeah.